I was the nurse who had to tell a husband his wife wasn't in a coma paired as she was faking it for 2 years. In my 15 years as an Aposu nurse, I've delivered countless pieces of devastating news, but nothing prepared me for the day I had to tell James Miller that his devoted daily visits to his comatose wife were part of an elaborate deception. Lisa Miller had been admitted after a serious car accident. Her injuries were significant, but not life-threatening. Murtaugh broken pelvis, fractured ribs, and a moderate concussion. We expected a difficult recovery, but nothing that would leave her in a persistent vegetative state. Yet 3 weeks after admission, despite all medical indicators suggesting she should be improving, brain scans showed normal activity, blood work was unremarkable. Every test we ran contradicted her apparent condition. For 2 years, James visited every single day. He'd sit beside her bed for hours, reading her favorite books, playing their wedding song, and telling her about their children's achievements. He brought fresh flowers every Monday and changed her hospital room decorations with the seasons. The nursing staff was moved by his dedication, and we often used him as an example of unwavering love. What we didn't know was that Lisa was conscious for all of it. The truth emerged during a night shift when I entered her room for routine vitals at 2 a.m. I found her sitting up, scrolling through James's phone that he had accidentally left behind. When our eyes met, she froze, then slowly laid back down and closed her eyes. I stood there, stunned into silence, watching her perfectly mimic the unresponsive state we'd been monitoring for 2 years. Her breathing pattern changed. Her body went limp. If I hadn't seen her fully alert seconds earlier, I would have believed she was truly unconscious. After consulting with the medical team and hospital ethics committee, I was assigned to be present when the neurologist confronted Lisa. When gently called out, she maintained her act for nearly 20 minutes before finally opening her eyes and asking for water. Her first conscious words in 2 years. The hardest part wasn't discovering the deception. It was sitting with James in the consultation room the next day, watching his face as our chief neurologist explained that his wife had been medically capable of consciousness for approximately 23 months. But why? He whispered, his voice breaking. Why would she do this to us, to our children? Lisa refused to speak with James directly, but through her therapist we learned pieces of her reasoning. Their marriage had been failing before the accident. She'd been planning to leave him. The accident and subsequent hospital stay had shown her a side of James she hadn't seen in years, parent attentive, loving, devoted. She became trapped in her own deception, unable to figure out how to wake up without admitting the lie. The hospital bills had bankrupted their family. Their teenage children had spent 2 formative years visiting a mother who could have been present for their lives. James had taken a lower-paying job with flexible hours to accommodate his daily hospital visits. 3 months later, I ran into James at the grocery store. He looked both older and lighter somehow. How are things? I asked cautiously. Lisa's living with her sister now. The kids are still processing everything, but they're seeing a good therapist. He paused, then added, "Thank you for being the one who told me the truth. It must have been difficult." It was difficult, but not as difficult as watching someone dedicate 2 years of their life to a lie. Sometimes the most devastating injuries aren't physical, Perter. They're the invisible wounds of betrayal that change who we are forever. Lisa's medical records now include a rare diagnosis, factitious disorder, the deliberate feigning of illness for psychological benefit, but no clinical term can fully capture what happened in that hospital room. How someone could watch love being freely given day after day and choose to receive it through deception rather than truth.